Welcome to Tiny Pep Talks for Step Parents, a short weekly podcast with new episodes every Sunday. For today's pep talk, imperfect step parenting still counts. Bringing our authentic selves to this role is all that matters, not how much we're step parenting, and certainly not how perfectly we step parent. Like parents, step parents are imperfect humans. Unlike parents, the times when we're not at our best get held against us with very little grace for how dang tough this role can be, including by our own partners. Our partners' unrealistic step parenting and blending expectations come up again and again as a major stumbling block while we're trying to blend. I can't completely blame our partners for that when our entire society holds unrealistic expectations for us as step parents. We even hold unrealistic expectations for ourselves. But I do feel exasperated that so many of our partners rigidly prioritize their versions of what makes a quote unquote good step parent over what's possible or actually happening in real life. Like saying, I wish you'd be more involved, or maybe you just need to try a little harder, as they sit by and do nothing at all when your stepkids ignore you, insult you, or consistently refuse to attend activities you spent a lot of time and energy orchestrating. This type of frustrating interaction tends to pop up when the step-parent has reached stage 3 of the stages of blending a family. We are very aware of what's working or not working. Meanwhile, our partners are still hanging out back at stage 1, the fantasy stage, where everything's just magically going to work out. The reality of successfully blending a family is much trickier and messier than our partner's wishful thinking would have us believe, though. Your role as a step-parent can look so different from what you originally envisioned and what your partner is maybe still envisioning. And boy, can we beat ourselves up a disproportionate amount for that. So for today's reminder, you do not have to be perfect to be a good step-parent. You are allowed to make mistakes. Oh, you said the 100% wrong thing to your stepkid? Join the club. You handled a particular situation poorly and now regret it? Congrats. You are human. If you're constantly trying to overcompensate for your normal mistake-making human behavior, you will very quickly find yourself feeling both miserable and burned out. Step-parents do not need to be perfect. We don't need to take on the simultaneous roles of therapist, maid, life coach, babysitter, disciplinarian, and/or keeper of all things important just to matter as a step-parent or as a person. Nor are step-parents the default person in charge of figuring out how all this blending shit is supposed to work. You're certainly not responsible for living up to someone else's unrealistic expectations, even your own unrealistic expectations. So just keep on rocking your gloriously imperfect self. You are enough, and you are doing enough. Don't let your inner critic or your partner tell you otherwise. If you're listening to this by podcast, please check the show notes for a link over to the full transcript, which is on Substack. Also, a link to the stages and phases of blending your family, which is surprisingly helpful and reassuring. We hope to see you over there. We would love it if you could join us.